you cannot choose to cry. So obviously it's the brain that is generating tears when we cry. But the question is, can we prevent our brains from generating tears? So I think that the brain is capable of doing a little something, okay, to try to prevent itself in a way from generating tears. It seems to me that it's also possible for us to do a little something too to try to prevent that from happening. But it's very subtle and there's no way to prove it. If it happens, we cannot know for sure. So, okay, so if we do it and we try to prevent that from happening, we try to resist, to cry, and then we cry, we're not responsible for it. So it's not like we're choosing to resist, we're trying to resist internally to not cry, and then we choose to cry. No, it will be that we did a little something, and if it made a difference or not, if we then cry, obviously it's the brain that forces us to cry. So, exactly, it's not exactly the same thing, but so since we cannot prove it, I recommend to not care about that and assume that everybody that cries had to cry. Simple as that. Also, in a certain way, some people may be able to force their brains to generate tears, but this is much harder than something like choosing to generate like a fake laugh, for example. This is on a whole other level. If you've seen some people trying to actually cry, this can be extremely hard. Some of the techniques you cannot like instantly choose to cry like that to make your brain generate some freaking tears. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so I am not pretending that something like that is impossible, but this is kind of different than choosing to cry for me. This is definitely a lot harder, and so again, of course, this has some serious implications. So when we experience some difficult things and we cry, or we are bullied, whatever we experience, understanding that we're not choosing to cry can help us to go through those difficult situations. Because right now, almost everybody in the world doesn't know that. So this is definitely something that can make us accept our emotions. Even if it can still be humiliating sometimes. Personally, I think that it will be pretty easy for me to accept emotions like that. No problem. Since I am so aware that I'm not choosing to cry, I simply accept it. I accept that it's in a certain way my destiny. Absolutely, if I cry, that I know that I absolutely have to cry. That's just the way it is, and there's something very beautiful about that to me. Also, other situations that can arise is that obviously sometimes we could mock some people, or we could be mocked, but let's say that, for example, someone could cry while watching a certain movie, and we think that it's kind of ridiculous that they could cry for such a thing. Like when I was younger, I remember laughing at my dad because he cried at certain like movies that were kind of cringy to me, and he thought it was sad. So I kind of mocked him a little bit. But today, I understand it's not a big deal. I understand that some people are going to cry for certain things that they're just not really genuine to me, and yes, it may sound ridiculous that some people may cry for something like that, but I also understand today that's why some people see some of those scenes in movies the way that they see them. And thanks to my knowledge, I don't really care anymore, and I just accept that they cry for things like that. So it's really appreciated. So thanks for watching, and see you in another video.